Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you today. We're going to talk about an important subject for all homesteaders. How to generate income on your homestead, or how to find the hidden incomes that are there. You just have to find them, okay? We're going to go over all of this. We're going to go over 5 important points that I feel you need to evaluate and think outside the box with in order to be successful in this category, if you will, on your homestead. The first thing that I want to talk about is you need to be sincere in your effort on your homestead. What do I mean by that? I have a lot of folks that are asking me questions about how to generate an income on a homestead, but they don't have a homestead just yet. They're working their way towards that. Do not put the cart before the horse, and understand that regardless of whether you're starting to homestead today, yesterday, or next year, there are going to be expenses. Just like having a business or starting a business, you have to invest money in order to get a return. And there's a lot of risk in homesteading if you're trying to look at it in terms of making money, okay? We homestead because we feel it is important to be self-sustainable and to learn life skill sets, okay? And to also teach that to our children. So that is how we began in terms of investing on our homestead. We didn't get into homesteading to make money. In fact, if you've watched several other of my videos, or if you talk to me personally or just ask me on a whim, I'm going to tell you to not quit your day job, okay? I'm going to tell you to approach homesteading as building life skills, because that is, most folks do not have those and desire to learn them now. Also, to produce incredible food products on your farm to improve your health. Also, to teach your children to be more self-reliant, self-sustainable. That is how you need to approach this if you are a small farm, an independent family, starting a homestead. Don't look at it as, I'm going to make money and quit my job. Because I think for most of us, that's not what reality is. That doesn't happen for us. And I'm not going to tell you that that's what's going to happen for you. If it does, that's wonderful. But we want to be realistic here, okay? So the first thing that I'm telling you, key number one, be sincere in your homesteading efforts. Because everything that I'm about to tell you after this point is all dependent upon that. Anybody that is successful in any career, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a quarterback for the Broncos, or whatever they're doing, they are sincere in their effort and what time and personal investment they put into their profession. You need to approach it like that alone. So that's what I want to tell you. Number 2, so let's get to it. How to make an income selling an awesome product. It's just that. You have to produce an awesome product, okay? What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. I sell my eggs. That's one of the ways that we generate income on our homestead. You know that by watching other videos. There's multiple ways to do that, and we talked about that. But what I want to tell you is, it has taken years for me to get to the point that I'm at, okay? To have an income that brings in money that pays for my chickens and my feed and all of that on a monthly basis, I spend a lot of time and resources into my hens. I make sure they have a safe environment. I make sure they have great feed. I try to supplement them really well. We try to take very good care of them. So the bottom line is, if you have a sincere effort in an investment into your homestead and you are producing an awesome product, people want that, okay? You are what you eat. So whether it's pork or whether it's eggs or poultry or whatever you're doing, raw milk, depending on your state, herd shares or whatever, the more of an investment that you have, the better the return will eventually be for you. I'm living proof of that. It can happen, but you have to start somewhere. So do a really good job with whatever you're producing, whether you sow, whether you make breads, whether it's hens, whatever you're looking at, okay? I'm just telling you, the better your investment is on that, the more awesome your product is going to be. So that is a great way to make an income to come into your homestead. A big thing that people do not talk about, or that they don't consider income, which I consider a hidden income, is your community. Let me give you an example. If you are in a homesteading community, I don't mean necessarily you're living and working with people. I'm talking about a sense of community. Your friends are homesteaders. You are in a good relationship with local homesteaders. We work together, okay? So, for example, I don't own a tractor. I have not had to buy a tractor at this point in the game, still, this many years later, into homesteading. Why? How have I done that? It is because our neighbors, our local homesteaders, we take care of each other. I make sure they get awesome eggs. I run errands for them. I help them with their garden. When I go out of town and can bring in certain items that they enjoy, I do so. In return, when I need use of a tractor, guess who shows up? So I don't have to worry about buying a tractor or making a monthly payment and the upkeep and gas that it takes for a tractor or of other things, because they provide that. And they'll say, girl, don't go buy a tractor. Anytime you need it, you call me. So I make sure I take care of them. They make sure they take care of me. I don't know about you, but if you've looked at the price of a really nice, big, useful tractor, they're not inexpensive. That would be quite a bit of money every month for my family. I consider that a hidden income. And you can apply that into many different forms, okay? This is just giving you the heads up of how important your sense of community is with your local homesteaders, okay? So make sure you're tapping into that, not just to take advantage of their goods and services. You need them and they need you, and that's what makes good relationships work. Tying in with that, we're going to talk about producing your own foods on your homestead. That's one of the main things that is extremely critical for us on our homestead for multiple factors. I want skill sets. I want to teach my children skill sets, gardening, raising animals, animal husbandry, butchering, etc., etc. First of all, I want to tell you right now that if you get really good at basic gardening and things of the sort, first of all, you have an investment from the get-go. Yes, eventually you get to the point where you can produce. If you can get a lot of great produce going on your farm, heirloom quality, non-GMO seeds, guess what? If you start seed saving, that is going to lessen your expenses as the years roll forward. If you get a flock of chickens going and you are able to have fertilized eggs and incubate them and produce hatchlings on your farm, whether it's turkey, quail, chickens, etc., or any animal for that point, going forward, you're probably not going to have to buy them from scratch, if you will. So as time, you have these initial investments. For example, I love Baker Creek heirloom quality seeds, okay? I buy the large bags, I did at least, of the Roma 2 bush beans. Paid $5, I think. Huge amount of, I think it's a 2-pound bag here. Long story short, I planted all my beans. Out of 2 rows of bush beans, I was able to get, for $5, we got 6 bushels of beans. Now, my effort was putting in some time, and I had to work, and there was expense of some water here or there, depending on the season, yes. But at the end of the day, I gained 6 bushels of just bush beans alone for around $5 is technically what I spent. Whereas, how much are you spending if you go to the grocery store and have to buy canned beans, green beans? Apply this method going forward, do the math. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the initial investment, maybe a few minor expenses here and there depending on what your setup is, but in the end, you're going to be saving money as you go forward. Think about ways to produce food on your farm. Compare it to what you're doing elsewhere. If nothing else, let's say you break even. The quality that you're producing on your farm cannot be beaten, okay? It's going to get to the point where you're not going to want to buy it at the store. You're going to want to go down into your root cellar and get your canned goods because the quality alone is unsurpassed. In addition to that, if you are producing foods on your farm, and this is true, you're producing all of these wonderful crops, corn, beans, etc., and you get really good at producing that, you're going to start canning. You're going to save oodles amount of money. The mass amount of food for the money that you spend at the grocery store in comparison to what you can produce on your farm and put into canned forms is unbelievable, at least in our experience, okay? So not only that, but it goes back to your community. I know some folks that would love to line up and barter for my homemade vegetable soup. We're talking heirloom quality, non-GMO, grown right here. They know what they do, and this stuff right here, in a lot of ways, has its own weight in gold. So you have to think about these hidden values and these hidden incomes. It may not bring you cash, okay? You may not be getting the cash that day, but if it's keeping you from spending money or spending money in the near future, I'm sorry, that's income for me. That all relates. Last and most importantly, well, not necessarily most importantly, but this is a biggie. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about this in videos or even online, and you need to know about it because we went for a while and we didn't know. You need to look into, I don't know necessarily how things are in different states. They could be similar. Obviously, I live in Tennessee, so I know what I know in terms of what in regards to my state. You need to investigate the two things. You need to look up the whole idea of being able to be or to gain a tax exemption code. What is she talking about? That's right. Look into your area, call your local extension office, talk to somebody at the co-op, investigate it online, and look that up, because what that is it's a way for you to qualify for a tax code. So when you go to the co-op and you buy your sunflower seeds, or you have to pick up some bags of feed, or you're going to buy certain things for your farm, in my case, it doesn't apply for fencing and certain clothing items, but everything else, I don't pay taxes on it. I don't know about you, but that takes off almost 10%. So if I go to the co-op today and I buy a bunch of stuff and I spend $150, I just save $15. It's money back in my pocket. Now, investigate that. That's an important tip. Find out how you apply, how you qualify, and what you need to do. But if you are homesteading or if you have a property, there are ways for you to save on your taxes. Not only that, when it comes tax time, talk to somebody about all the ways that you can have tax write-offs, okay? That's going to help you also. So you need to find out about that, because let me tell you why. You may find out about it a little bit late in the game and you didn't keep your receipts, or you have no way to prove this or that or the other. So find out about that, guys. A lot of folks don't talk about these things, and you need to know. I'm mentioning it for you to do your homework and investigate these different ways to help cushion your expenses, to make income, and to find the hidden incomes that are on every homestead. You just have to look for them. Think outside the box, okay? Think of the different ways and look for different ways to share and to, just find all these different ways that you can save money. I hope this helps you out. I know a lot of you ask me a lot of questions on how we generate income on our homestead. Now listen, I'm not telling you to quit your day job, but I am trying to help you find ways to cushion your investment. And eventually, if you are sincere with all of your efforts, there's a very good likelihood that you could absolutely at least pay for all of your farm in terms of your monthly expenses, or even maybe a yearly expense depending on what you're doing, and to generate an income all by itself. If you like what you see here at Appalachia's Homestead, be sure to like and subscribe. We love hearing from you. I hope this helped you out. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and our blog and all the other places that we tend to pop up here from time to time. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to help you as best I can. I'm just trying to get you in the zone, because you can do this, guys. You really honestly can. Y'all take care out there.